Yes, folks, this is your perfect little small town, Minnesota, right here on the Zumbro River. And we are going to be hopping on the river and having some fun.
Funding for this program is provided in part by the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund and the citizens of Minnesota.
All right, let's go get on the river.
Be a good day today, huh?
I think it'll be a good day. Nice weather.
Hey!
Hello.
This is awesome!
Yeah.
Hey.
Hi, Brenda.
Hey, good to see you. Good to see you. Hey, Dave.
Hi,
Don.
nice to meet you.
Yeah, it's super nice to meet you. Hi, how are you? Good. Who are these guys? They're just random river ukulele players? That's great. We should bring them with us today.
We plan on it. We have it all set up here.
Perfect. They can serenade us as we go down the river. I love it.
Yeah. What's even better is they're good paddlers too.
Oh, really?
They're
No
not
way.
just musicians. They can paddle.
Here we are on the river, and we're gonna go. Maybe. Yeah. Maybe just a small tug. There we go. Aw, thank you. It is gorgeous out here today. It must be 70 degrees, absolutely picture perfect. Partly cloudy. River is slightly chilly. We're going to try to stay in the boat today, if at all possible. It does not look too crazy. I hear the biggest obstacle we might run into is shallow water, so I'm not too worried about getting wet unless I intentionally jump in just for the fun of it.
Yeah, the water is a little fast up here, so
Oh yeah.
just don't get too close to the shore, but stay away.
I'm going to follow you guys.
Follow that
Go ahead
V.
and follow Dave down.
Follow that
Follow
V.
Dave.
Yeah. This is the fun part of the river, right?
Right. I know, this is the best part. Passing you. There you have it. As you can see behind me, we just passed our first little rapids in the river. They say it's a class 1 point something, and it was pretty fun. So here we go. What's next? Rob Welch is an expert in water-based recreation. And as you can see, we have several different watercraft on the river with us today. Let's get a quick lesson on how they're different and what you might want to consider for your next adventure.
Hi, I'm Rob Welch, the owner of Tyrol Ski and Sports in Rochester, Minnesota. Today I'm here to talk to you about some of the different type of watercraft that can be used on our Minnesota lakes and rivers. We're all generally fairly familiar with the canoe. Their benefits are they can transport 2 or more people and lots of gear. Smaller canoes in the 14 to 16 foot range with a little bit of rocker, as we call it, which is curvature on the bottom of the canoe, are more maneuverable and suited for rivers. Longer canoes, generally longer than 16 feet with a straighter keel line, are more suitable for lakes and bigger bodies of water. The kayaks have been very popular over the last 20 years. One would be considered a recreational kayak, which is shorter, wider, easier to enter and exit out of. Another category is called transitional kayaks, and they're very suitable for day trips and multi-day trips. The recreational style kayak is less expensive, easy to use, easy to transport, but they are generally a little slower in the water and cannot handle as many bodies of water. The transitional model is longer and narrower. It's more efficient through the water, easier to paddle because of its narrow width, but it does have a more confining fit in the cockpit, and some people are not ready for that for their first kayak. The newest entry to our market has been stand-up paddle boards. They are generally more suited for shorter duration trips and more fitness paddling, as they really don't have any cargo carrying capacity. And in high wind and waves, they're not as stable or fun to paddle as the kayak or a canoe. I'm Rob Welch, and happy paddling.
Has this tree been down for a while?
I think it's been down for over a year.
Okay. So I'm curious, if like a big tree comes down and falls in the river, is there any association or organization around that comes down and kind of chops it up and gets it out of the way, or?
Since this is a DNR water trail,
Yeah.
they do send crews down
Okay.
they clear if there's an obstruction,
Okay.
that even if it goes across the channel,
Okay.
they won't clear it all out. They'll just clear enough for the canoes to get through.
Okay. Very nice.
Because they want to keep it as natural as possible.
So tell me, how long have you been paddling this river?
I've been paddling this river since the 1960s.
Okay. How many times do you think you've been down it?
Oh, certainly over 100.
Okay. Can you do it blindfolded yet?
I am blindfolded right now.
Oh. Nice. Have any
I think
ever
it's
jumped
pretty
into your
shallow.
kayak?
I think we should be off that way.
What's that?
Off that way.
We gotta go off this way. Got it.
Watch out for that obstacle there, Mike.
Navigator Dave says go to the left. So yeah, tell me, do you want to paddle into the V or around the V?
You want to go down the middle of the V generally, because that's going to show you the deepest water channel.
Okay. I feel like there is a lot happening in southeast Minnesota that I was not aware of. And it's beautiful. You know, I've lived only a few hours away from here my whole life, maybe even an hour. And look at this, all the bluffs and the river, and
Right.
you know, it's
Yeah.
kind of a hidden little gem.
River paddling, in my estimation, is one of the ways you can really get out and experience nature in southern Minnesota.
Yeah.
And feel like you're getting away from the roads, the cities, the farms, and you really get into a nature corridor.
Yeah.
And I love it. It's actually my primary recreation in the warmer months.
Okay. Very nice. Not only the land of 10,000 lakes, but the land of 10,000 miles of river.
You're right. All right.
So
we have
we're split up here?
yeah, so a couple can follow Dave down that side. We'll go down the right side here.
Okay. See you later.
I'll go left. And I hope we meet at the other end.
We're going down the left side of a little island right in the middle of the river. There's a big down tree, there's a little rapids. I can hear tons of little frogs and some crickets and some birds. And it's extremely peaceful here and really beautiful. And there's a huge bluff coming up on the left. And I'm going to try not to look at the bluff so that I don't ram myself into this tree that happens to be hanging over the river. And that stick right there, and then that stick right there. But that's all part of the fun.
So sandbars form little islands in the middle of the rivers. They change generally in size and position with different flood or high water events. As long as there's safe routes on either side, it's fun to explore each channel. When my kids were young, we'd come down and set up a little beach party on them and make that sort of a focal point of their day. speed is your enemy on a river.
Okay.
You already, you just, I don't know, go with the flow of the river, don't go fast. When you get into a fast moving water situation, the slower you go, the safer you are.
Okay.
It's also really important to always be looking far ahead of you. If you position yourself in advance, you'll eliminate 95% of the obstacles just by being in good position.
Sure.
By looking forward and ahead.
Do you think you kind of get a feel for the river over time?
Oh, absolutely. Just like anything you do in life, the more you practice it, the more you do it, the easier it becomes to read the water and how it's going to push you around, know where the shallow areas are, where the deep areas are.
Right.
And you get to be more comfortable in your own boat then too, and then how to maneuver it.
So what do you think is a good age for kids to be able to start kayaking and canoeing?
3.
3? Okay.
No, I'm not kidding.
Yeah, no, I believe you.
I mean, when my kids were growing up, I had a 18-foot fiberglass canoe. It was huge. And we used to put at least 4 of the kids in it, and myself.
That's great. So
And
do they
we
go
used to
on their own now?
We actually used to go down this stretch right here.
We got another little fast water section coming up here, which I like, which I have fun with.
All right, we're gonna do the rapids. Here we go. Ooh, and it's shallow.
We should be coming close to the SNA area, but
Actually, I was just gonna ask you guys about that.
I haven't seen the sign yet. It's an area that the state owns.
Oh no!
I
There's
lost
a
my
danger
hat.
of the river right
I
there.
think I lost my hat.
Dave lost his hat.
Do you know what's unique about that hat?
What?
It has a foam panel in the top of it so it won't sink.
So it floats!
It is. It's a specialty piece of equipment.
Floating hats are the best! And now he's gonna have the coolest head of us all.
Right.
So our daughter is a senior in high school.
Got a little braid out here. Had to put the shades on.
Or something like that. I think the problem is
Hey Brenda, your paddle's upside down, so you want to go like this with it? Flip it just like,
Like this?
yeah.
Oh, well, there we go. Thank you.
Yep. That won't be on the film though.
I actually always paddle upside down. I just like the challenge of paddling upside down.
Oh, the little fishies. Tom, were you with us on that trip when we were paddling right in this section and we saw that, I don't know if it was a muskie or something down in the clear water here. It's close to 4 feet long. Maybe I was with Randy on that trip, but it was really surprising. Perfectly clear water, huge fish.
I didn't bring my fishing pole today, but Minnesota rivers are home to a variety of fish. Clarissa Schroten, a naturalist from the Oxbow Park and Zolman Zoo, tells us what might be lurking below.
Hi, my name is Clarissa Schroten. I'm the naturalist here at Oxbow Park and Zolman Zoo, and today we're going to be talking about fish. One of them that you see behind me is the black bullhead. We also have green sunfish, we have rock bass, and we have a yellow perch in there as well. These are all fish that are native to Minnesota, and you can find them in a lot of different kinds of waters. They spend their entire life in water. They hatch out from an egg that turns into a small little fish that swims around and then will start to eat things such as algae, maybe some small flies. As they grow bigger and bigger, some of them become carnivorous and they'll start to eat insects, insect larvae, minnows and worms, sometimes even other fish. The rock bass and the sunfish, they do belong in the same family. Of course, they all have scales and a coat of slime to protect them if anything were to bite at them or scar up their scales. The bullhead is another really common one that we find. They're not one that needs a very clean water, so they can live in places such as the Zumbro River that flows through Oxbow Park and Zolman Zoo. And the bullhead, they lack scales on their skin covering. They're actually a very soft skin that's black in this instance. There's also a yellow bullhead too, but that skin also has that slime. The slime is kind of the main important part for fish to make sure to keep themselves safe. They're also bottom feeders, so they find a lot of worms on the ground, and that's the main portion of their diet. Because they are bottom feeders, they are not necessarily one of our tastiest if you are a game fisherman. The last fish that we have in this tank is the perch. Perch are a member of the walleye family, so they are a very tasty one, yet perch are not known for getting very large, and perch are more sensitive when it comes to the type of water that they need. They need a cleaner water to live in. And they have that cool coloring, they have stripes down their sides to distinguish them, along with that yellow coloring along their belly side. When looking for fish on the river, the best place to find them is near rocky areas or any kind of structure. If you see a tree down, that's perfect habitat for animals and fish to be hiding out from any kind of predators from above. I'm Clarissa Schroten from Oxbow Park and Zolman Zoo, and I encourage you to get out and enjoy the wildlife and try to find some of our great Minnesota animals.
Yeah, that tree that's bending over the water, if it was touching the water, it'd be called a strainer.
Called a what?
Strainer.
Oh, I went through one that felt like a strainer.
In other words, the water goes through, but you don't.
Right, exactly. A little bit of rapids. I like it.
Rapids always sound worse than they are sometimes, don't
Yeah, exactly. That was fun though, I liked
they?
it.
Yeah.
A little bit of an adrenaline rush right there.
Small one.
A small one, yeah. A couple little drops of water. Makes you feel alive. It's good. You guys said earlier something about there's not many lakes around here. Why is that? Because we live in the state of 10,000 lakes.
The area is called the driftless area because as a series of glaciers came down from Canada, this area was a higher plateau.
Okay.
So the glaciers didn't cover it, but they went around it. As the glaciers receded and then advanced and then receded it again multiple times, every time they receded there'd be a huge amount of meltwater.
Okay.
And the meltwater is what's caused a lot of these valleys to erode and show off the limestone bluffs.
Wow, that's super interesting.
And about 5 million years ago, this whole area, most of the United States actually, was covered in oceans.
Does that mean we're
Limestone.
going to see some sharks today in the river?
No sharks.
That's good because I have a major fear of sharks. So after the scientific area, is there anything else we can expect to see heading down the river?
We're going to see wall rock, which is a limestone outcropping right by the river.
Well, that really intrigues me because I'm a rock climber. So can I go climb it?
You can go climb it. We'll watch.
That's what I was hoping you'd say. Yeah.
Get ready for whitewater.
Here we go. It's about to get crazy. That's a giant bluff in front of us. That's gorgeous. I don't know, is that the wall? Oh, that's the wall. Taking the rapids to the wall.
Oh. Okay, just relax, Michael, just relax. Hey, wait, whoa.
Whoa!
We're gonna eddy out here. Just
Whoa! Down!
Kevin, I need you to jump out and hold the canoe. Just stay here till I come back.
Yikes, that was crazy. We just lost a cameraman in the canoe or a kayak.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
The camera's good. We're all good. Oh.
Good. Well, now you'll be cooled off.
A little excitement.
Just get it out here a ways.
No, I mean, I love my bike, yeah, that's cool.
All right.
Get it away from the rocks.
Yeah, thank you. Ooh, there's a big rock right there.
Oh, a sneaker we call those.
This is awesome.
So we're getting ready to land here for a lunch break on an island on the Zumbro River. The safest way to land is facing the boat upstream and parallel to shore. And then I can easily get out without any stress. Grab the boat and we'll pull it to shore.
It's time for lunch. Dawn, tell me, where do you have a studio?
I have a studio in my home in Red Wing, Minnesota.
Oh, okay. And what kind of art is it that you do?
I do silkscreen printed textiles.
Okay. What does that mean exactly?
So I take fabric. Normally I start with dyeing it,
Okay.
various colors, and then I silkscreen print patterns on it,
Okay.
and then I cut and sew it all together.
Wow, that sounds really cool. So I'm curious, have you been inspired for a particular piece of art today here on the
Today?
river? Are you like on the river for a while to get inspired? And
I
then
am on the river for an adventure.
for an adventure. Perfect.
My name is Dawn Erickson, and I am a textile designer and artist. After I got home from kayaking, I made a few notes about what I had seen and how I wanted the piece to look. The first thing I remember are the little rocks on the ground in the mud. So with this project, I started with the shore of the stones. I had been kayaking before, but never kayaking to make a piece about it. And because generally I do go to another country to think about what I want to do. So this was half an hour from my house, maybe. So it was interesting. So I begin with white organza, and then I dye it in the colors that I want, and then print designs on it. So this was the little pebbles and the texture of the sand. The silk organza, it's translucent, and I like having the ability to do layers and of patterns on one on top of another. And at the very end of our trip was a bridge. We stopped just before the bridge, so the bridge is actually at the top of my piece, and the stones at the bottom, and the river and the shore is between them. And then I take all the pieces and start sewing them together. So this entire piece has 1, 2, 3, 4, about 4 different sections to it. And then I'll just sew for miles. It's a lot of sewing. The adventure was really great. I had a lot of fun.
So Dawn, is this your first time down the river in the kayak?
First time down this river,
Okay.
but I have canoed or kayaked and canoed some other rivers.
Okay. Cool. Would you consider yourself kind of a river rat, or no?
No.
Oh. What do you think of the lovely Zumbro River today?
Oh, I think it's really pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not exactly what I expected. So
What were you expecting?
Muddier.
Oh. Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, it
This
is
is
actually
really
really
pretty.
sandy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and kind of rocky.
And I thought it would be deeper too.
Oh, right. Yeah. It is not that either. As we just learned a little bit ago.
You did.
Yes, I did, as I learned a little bit ago. Yes.
We are finishing our day on the Zumbro, huh, Brenda?
Yeah, it's been awesome.
Yeah, nice day.
It's been gorgeous.
Perfect temperature.
Perfect temperature. And it's been definitely a little adventure. Yeah. It's been great.
Yep.
Yeah, I see the takeout. I see the bridge.
Yep, and then we're just taking out on the upstream river left side of that. You can see the boat ramp down there.
Okay.
And we're gonna come in a little bit on a sort of a 45-degree angle and then point on upstream.
Okay.
And then we'll hop on out and grab the boat and pull them up to shore. Bump here, but we're okay, Kevin.
Sweet. Home sweet home.
Yeah.
Just like that, right?
Yep.
Awesome. Yeah. Sweet. Nice job. Thanks for joining us on the Zumbro River. We'll see you next time on Let's Go, Minnesota. Yeah, I can't kayak and
I'll give you a little boost.
yeah, thank you. I need a boost. Yes, awesome, thank you. Wow, it's really shallow here, isn't it? There we go. So is this the town of Hammond we're pulling into?
This is the hamlet of Hammond.
The hamlet of Hammond.
Well, that ain't good.
Thanks for joining us today on the Zumbro River. We'll see you next time.